Tonight, the whole country is buzzing following Don Imus's comments on his radio show about the Rutgers University women's basketball team.
That's some rough girls from Rutgers, man. They got tattoos and some hardcore hoes. That's some nappy-headed hoes there.
Imus then apologized for the comments at length on his radio show this morning.
11 seconds.
I'm sorry I did that. I'm embarrassed that I did that. I did a bad thing, but I'm a good person.
And then this afternoon, Imus appeared on the Reverend Al Sharpton's radio program to explain himself and made some more comments that some people say could be just as bad as the original one.
It's like the old country song, God may forgive you, but I won't. Jesus may love you, but I don't. So I can't get any place with you people, but I can get someplace with Jesus.
Who is you people, Mr. Imus?
You and this woman I'm talking to.
And just a short time ago, CBS Radio announced that Imus has in fact been suspended from his radio show for 2 weeks. Also, NBC News suspended their television simulcast of Imus's program. President of NBC, Steve Kappas, released the following statement. Quote, beginning Monday, April 16th, MSNBC will suspend simulcasting the syndicated Imus in the Morning radio program for 2 weeks. Now, this comes after careful consideration in the days since his racist, abhorrent comments were made. Don Imus has expressed profound regret and embarrassment and has made a commitment to listen to all of those who have raised legitimate expressions of outrage. In addition, his dedication, in his words, to change the discourse on his program moving forward has confirmed for us that this action is appropriate. Our future relationship with Imus is contingent on his ability to live up to his word. Joining us now with more on this developing story is Dr. Mark Lamont Hill of Temple University, radio talk show host, nationally syndicated Armstrong Williams, and right here in our New York studio, comedian, radio personality Patrice O'Neill. All right.
What's up?
How you doing? Welcome back. Good to see you. Did the CBS and NBC do the right thing?
No. What are they accomplishing after 2 weeks? And what are they accomplishing? What are y'all trying to accomplish?
Go after him.
I don't understand where this is going.
And so, no, seriously, you don't find anything wrong with those comments?
It's something wrong with the comments, but you act like Don Imus and Kramer are like malignant spots, but the whole country.
You. I didn't even give you my opinion yet.
White people. I know what your opinion is,
White
Sean.
people.
Yes, and that whole thing you read was all like abhorrent.
That's what NBC said.
Outrage. Nobody black is saying that.
That's because they were. That's because those comments were abhorrent, and the reason why we have to defend these young women is because no one else will. The reason why we have to punish Don Imus is because if we don't stand up and speak out, no one else will, and comments like this will continue to be mainstream in public space.
Well, what if this was your daughter who worked so hard, reached the championship, and some dopey radio host says something like that? You wouldn't like it.
First of all, have you had any of those girls on?
We'll invite them on.
What do you think?
They've commented to NBC in New York, and they're furious.
Of course, that ain't the real.
Those are their words.
What do you think they really said when they heard that? They didn't go, "Oh, that's outrageous." They went, "I know he didn't call me no nappy-headed hoe." That's what they said. I know that cracker didn't say nappy-headed hoe. That's what they said. They wasn't outraged.
Yeah, but we can't base our indignation on those 8 young women. It's quite possible because of the way black women are treated in America that they were used to hearing such things. But it's still inappropriate. We cannot allow our own dignity to be assaulted in that way without a response. And my response doesn't hinge upon those 8 young women who were disrespected. Even if they weren't insulted, I am.
Dr. Hill, let me answer this. All right, so he admits it was wrong, outrageous. These are his words, not mine. Over the top. He has apologized. He's promised to make good. He's now been suspended. Should he be? Are you saying you want him fired?
Absolutely. I think I'm happy that CBS has stood up. I'm happy that the network NBC has stood up and said, look, this is punishable, and they're giving him 2 weeks. But 2 weeks is insufficient. We cannot allow this type of thing to happen. Giving him 2 weeks only enables someone else to do the same thing. All the attention he's garnered, all the promotion he's going to get, all the free publicity. They say no publicity is bad publicity. He's going to have a job. At the end of the day, he should not.
Let me get Armstrong, and then we'll get back to you, Patrice. Armstrong?
Well, listen. What he said was disgusting. It was a horror. It was terrible. It's very offensive. But the sad news is that this is what Don Imus does. He said things about Venus and Serena Williams. He said things about Gwen Ifill. He said things about others.
Should he be
talked
fired?
about his bosses. He's talked about Jews. He talks about everybody. This is what he does.
Armstrong, it's Alan. Welcome back to our show. Do you think it's appropriate?
May I finish? I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you. May I finish?
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. He talked about all these people. They have allowed this to go on. I don't believe in censorship. I believe in the ultimate freedom of speech. I think the marketplace should decide. Certainly, CBS Radio and everyone else has a right to suspend him, to send a message that after many warnings, they will not tolerate this any longer. But firing him, and then the other thing we're doing, we're setting another precedent. Don Imus is not the only shock jock who used this kind of terminology and these racist remarks. There are other people that use it. You set a dangerous precedent when you say that someone like Don Imus should be fired, because there are a lot of people out there who happen not to look like Don Imus. It's easy to fire people like Don Imus and Savage and others, but we got to hold everybody to the same standard. We must establish what is the standard.
Let's fire all of them.
Hold on, Armstrong.
Let's fire all of them then. I have no problem with
it. And then
it.
what?
Are you offended?
I'm not at that, because first of all, nobody except for me and the good doctors under 60, and none of you know what funny is. Like the doctor.
Was that fun? Was it funny what I said?
To say nappy-headed hoe
was it funny?
Is hilarious. But in context of context of a comic, you should be able to explore any words you want to say. He messed up.
Would it be different if a black person said it?
Of course. I can say nappy-headed hoe all day. But I want to be able to call white girls straight-headed hoes anytime I feel like it. Anytime.
And would you?
Of course.
And should you be punished for it?
Of course not.
Right. So, Dr. Hill, are we overreacting here? I mean, look, what he said was inappropriate, was wrong, he's apologized. At what point do we say, okay, how about a little forgiveness? He's, been contrite. He went on Reverend Sharpton's show today. He realizes he did wrong. Do we keep punishing the guy?
He's crying.
Well, first let me say I didn't find him contrite on Reverend Sharpton's show. I found him arrogant. I found him somewhat belligerent.
What do you want? You want blood?
And his "you people" comment to me really underscored the fact that he's not all that apologetic, and that deep beneath him is a severe character flaw that's directly connected to racism.
We all have character flaws.
Doctor, do you think...
Absolutely. And if your character flaws were uttered in such a way that they cause severe abuse to people in full public view on a daily basis, which some may argue,
do you know that anybody was really abused here? Was anybody really abused here?
Absolutely. I think that's where we need to look at black women in their particular position in America. When they're referred to as hoes, when they're referred to as the B word on a constant basis, we need to challenge that. Not just when it comes from Don Imus, when it comes from anyone.
Right, now, you know what, dude? But listen, if we start challenging that word, right, and we start to try to ban the word nigger and ban the word nappy-headed hoes, right, let me ask you, how? Who's going to suffer in the long run? It ain't going to be white people. You don't say nappy-headed hoe on a regular basis in the street. I might. I say hoe, maybe not nappy. That's something new, something new for me.
And hoe is not racial.
But with everything going on in the world, why are we fighting so vigorously to defend the right to call ourselves the N-word or hoes?
We got a lot of ground to cover.
That's my issue.
Not the least of which is their double standard. We're going to delve into that when we get back. We'll pick up this.
Why isn't there the same kind of outrage, let me ask you, in the black community when rappers and other people in the black community, athletes in the black community, defame and demean black women?
I am one of them
call them
that
worse
is
names than I
outraged.
ever did.
Another clip there of Don Imus from his appearance on Al Sharpton's radio show today. We now continue with Dr. Mark Lamont Hill. Armstrong Williams works with my friends over there at WWRL in New York, and Patrice O'Neill. Armstrong, he apologized. He's contrite. Did he say the right things, or was the apology, in your view, worse than what he initially said, as was suggested earlier here tonight?
Well, the guy's in a state of shock. He did not expect this. He's done this for so long. And another thing about Don Imus, I can never forget during the time of Hurricane Katrina that he was one of the few people who had a national audience in this country who spoke out and said, what is wrong with America? Why are they singling out these people for this kind of treatment and this kind of neglect? He said, there's only one conclusion that I can come to is the fact that they have black faces, and this is not right. This is not who America is. And I got to tell you, I can't forget that. You can be outraged with him, and you should be outraged with him, but you got to take the man's life in balance. He's one of the few people who brought attention to the plight of those people in New Orleans, and they happen to be black. I mean, so it's easy to make someone out to be a racist. What he said was very racist, was very bigoted. But I look at the whole Don Imus, and he's done some good. We should be outraged. NBC and CBS did what they had to do.
And Dr. Hill, shouldn't we look at what's in somebody's heart and what their true intent is, and truly what they've done? He's got a camp. He helps kids. 10% of the kids at his camp are black. I mean, you want to end the man's career over this comment?
I don't want to end his career. I don't want him on the street. I simply don't want him to have this particular job.
What job
I'm sure
can he
he'll
have?
land on his feet.
What job can he have?
That's not my concern. What I'm saying is that this particular post that he has, let me finish this point. He made this point. He used his job irresponsibly, and he should be fired for it. Well, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he should never work again. If someone wants to hire him, that's their prerogative.
Then you'll pick at the next guy that he works for, the next person he works for. Patrice, I mean,
I'm just saying. I know funny, and I know if he had said nappy-headed athletes or nappy-headed young women,
why is that okay?
No, it's not okay if he had said that.
We'd be just as offended.
Nappy-headed athlete would have been, is he using an adjective? I don't get that. Yeah. But to say nappy-headed hoe is so ridiculous, you know he was trying to be funny.
Well,
you know it.
I mean, you heard the tone of voice. He was laughing. I mean, he didn't intend to hurt, and he realizes he was wrong, Armstrong. He knows he made a mistake, and as you said earlier, you know, the free marketplace can decide whether or not this helps him or hurts him. Just pulling him off the air, stop other people from ever going over the line, which anybody in broadcast can do any moment of any day when you're in front of a live mic all the time.
But the problem is, people cross the line every day. Anybody else other than people who have huge audiences and names could have said this, and they could have been of a different hue, and nothing would have been said. It would have not even made the radar screen. It's because of what Don Imus represents, and he just happens to be a white man in America. And they're the individuals in this country that cannot use racism in any forum, in any kind of way. It's a double standard. Look,
hang on a second.
I don't want you to misinterpret my trying to defend him, but there is a double standard here.
Dr. Hill, I want to ask you this question. You want him fired from this job?
Absolutely.
All right. We know the history. The two people that are leading the effort now against Don Imus are the Reverend Jackson and the Reverend Al Sharpton. Now, we know in the case of the Reverend Jackson, we know his comments about Jews in New York. We know his admission about the treatment of food of certain customers when he used to, work at a restaurant. We know the white interloper comments of Al Sharpton. We know Al Sharpton said if the Jews want to get it on, tell them to pin their yarmulkes back and come on over to my house. Have you ever asked for their firing?
Firing from what? In 1988, when Reverend Jackson made the comment about Hymietown, he paid dearly for it. He also apologized.
I didn't ask you that. I asked, sir, wait, Dr. Hill,
you're saying fired. Fired from what?
Do you think they deserve to be on the national scene leading the effort against Don Imus, considering their background?
Okay, that's a different question. Absolutely. Absolutely.
They do.
This particular... I think
Doctor, do you see what he's trying to do? That's what they do. He's trying to make us hypocrites. That's what I'm saying.
It's not about hypocrisy. It's about challenging someone who clearly spoke out in racist and sexist fashion. The issue here isn't Reverend Jackson, nor is it Reverend Sharpton. The person who should be under scrutiny here is Don Imus.
No. The people leading the effort. No. Here's the difference. If you're saying he should be fired, why shouldn't they be? Why shouldn't they, in your mind, be in the same category? If you can explain that to our audience, I'm all ears.
The same category as what? They have both paid dearly for comments that they've made that they've regretted when they've made them.
They're still out there protesting, and they're still in the media. Nothing happened to them. There's been no impact negatively on their careers.
That's absolutely the same.
What do you want? You want to jump? Go ahead.
Because I see what you're doing.
What am I doing?
Because the seriousness of the doctor is what the down. He's so. It's the fact is
You're saying the doctor's a hypocrite?
No, not a hypocrite. Tricky. But what I'm saying is
you're over here celebrating, calling people hoes, and thinking it's funny. To me, that's
the man, stop it.
That's the issue.
Stop it. You're being too serious. First of all, when was nappy-headed hoe? Wait a minute. When was nappy-headed hoe ever a term that was subjugating to black folks?
No.
Nappy-headed hoe. When? Back in the 20s? During slavery?
Look, it is offensive, and Imus says himself it's offensive. Here's my question. Hang on a second, Doctor. Patrice, in all seriousness here, if this is how Imus is going to be treated, what about the people leading the charge? Is it fair? You say, well, you're trying to create this. Is there hypocrisy?
Divide and conquer.
No.
That's why
I'm not dividing and conquer. I'm saying
to prevent it from being that, let him say what he wants. So I can say what I want.
You want everybody to say everything. You don't care.
Yes.
All right, but that's you're being real and honest. But I'm saying, are they being hypocritical?
And sexist.
Are they being hypocritical? Hang on a second.
There's nothing hypocritical.
I'm asking Patrice.
Look, man. If you tell somebody something, how to say something, and you have made mistakes in your life, I can't use hypocrite. I gotta go back to the black community, Sean.
We're gonna pick it up right there. Don't go.
We continue now with Dr. Mark Lamont Hill, Armstrong Williams, and Patrice O'Neill. All right, Dr. Hill, I want to go back to this issue we were discussing earlier. The two people leading the charge, the Reverend Jackson and the Reverend Al Sharpton, and they both have a history of saying outrageous things. I don't
know if I'd say outrageous. I don't.
You don't think Hymietown's outrageous?
I think it's an unfortunate statement. He apologized for it. He explained the context. It's a problematic statement. I'm not trying to support the statement. I'm saying he's apologized. That was 19 years ago. You don't think the term white interloper, sir, leading into that incendiary event that took place on Freddy's at 125th, you don't think white interlopers offensive and racist? It's interesting that you're saying that these people didn't pay a penalty, yet 19 years later we're still talking about the comments. Clearly they are paying a public penalty. That's the same thing I want to see happen to Don
I'm just trying to understand. You want this guy fired, but it's acceptable for the people that have this history to lead this effort against this guy. And I'll tell you what I find it. Look, Patrice and I were talking in the break. Either everybody's wrong and everybody gets condemned. You'll only condemn Don Imus. Will you condemn the Reverend Sharpton and the Reverend Jackson for their incendiary remarks over the years?
Absolutely. Anyone who makes a hurtful or incendiary comment.
No, I said specifically Reverend Jackson and Al Sharpton. Will you condemn them tonight as you have Don Imus?
I'm saying anyone and everyone. Yes, I think making.
You're having a hard time with this. You really? I think
actually no. I think you're having a hard time keeping the focus on Don Imus.
I think
you're making these scapegoats.
The difference is I'm consistent.
Diversionary tactics.
I'm saying it's wrong for everybody.
Sharpton instead of Don Imus.
No, I'm not, because it's wrong for everybody.
1988 has no bearing on what Don. It has no bearing on what Don Imus did.
No, I'm saying it's wrong. But I'm also saying I think it's hypocritical. The guys that are leading the way have a history of making equally offensive remarks, but they seem to be getting a pass. And now, in an ironic sense,
if Jesse Jackson got a pass, we wouldn't be talking about it 19 years later.
Oh, but you're having a hard time saying that it's appropriate for this guy to be leading the effort. You don't find any irony there or any hypocrisy there?
Well, you know you're going to be using OJ for the next 50 years to talk about, to compare it to any other white guy who does something.
You said something in the break, though, and I think you're right. Either everybody's wrong or everybody gets to say what they want.
Everybody says what, because the word nigga does not mean what it did in 1920, no matter what you say and when you say it.
But you and I had this debate once before. That word is meant to hurt. Period.
And it could hurt. Yes. But you just saying it doesn't hurt me, because that implies that you're better than me.
What are you pointing at me for?
Because if I call you a cracker, it never meant nothing to you. It was almost like, thank you.
I have known you for a lot of years. For a short time now. We've debated it, but we've known each other. You could basically say anything to me, and I know everything you're saying is meant in humor.
Not everything, but I know how to.
To me,
by the way, that's not true when I talk to him. But let me ask you that.
but you don't get to be the arbiter of what's funny. Well, how can you all be the arbiter of what's funny for black
Patrice
women?
No,
I am.
But here's the main question.
I am. Let
me get Armstrong back in here.
Based on what you said tonight, bro, I don't find you the arbiter either.
Armstrong.
Yeah, but you're being an arbiter just for, like, they painting you into a corner. You don't even realize that your whole seriousness is messing you up, and now you gotta commit to saying that Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson are hypocrites.
Television,
you had to commit
cheesing and soft shoe and talking about how this isn't a serious.
This is where the problem is.
This is a serious issue.
Now this is what they do.
Who's they?
They make us fight.
Who does?
When he goes soft shoe. That's more insulting to me than nappy-headed hoe. That's when black people call each other words like that, soft shoe, house nigga. Get out of here. You know better than that, Doc.
Sir, the issue here for me tonight is Don Imus's comments, and all we've done is divert their
I
attention
think the issue, Dr. Hill, is who decides what's offensive. What's offensive? And who is it offensive to? And who's getting hurt? And who is the arbiter of what offensive is?
Why don't we talk to the aggrieved people? No one asked that question when
And if they're not offended, you want to give Don Imus his job back if they're not offended?
When Mel Gibson made his comments, clearly Jewish people were offended, and they should have been.
I didn't hear you call to say that they should step aside.
When Bill Maher lost his job with ABC, people
responded
because people were offended. Why can't black women be just as compelling a victim?
Thank you. Patrice, good to see you.